Well, welcome everyone. Great to see such a great turnout today for the board meeting. I'm going to go ahead and call the Wiseburg Unified School District board meeting to order at 6:03 for Thursday, November 20th, 2025. Welcome again. Wendy, will you please take roll call?
Dr. Golden?
Here.
Gatsby? Mr. Gatsby? Mr. Martinez? Mr. Bethany?
Present. Thank you. Okay, we're going to continue on with our public comment, and I do have 6 cards today for comments from the public regarding. Actually, give me 1 second. 1 second. First item, yes, I got ahead of myself. Going to go ahead and take a motion to approve our agenda. I am on item 4.1 of our agenda for today. Is there a motion to approve the agenda, please?
So moved.
Second?
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Now we're on to public comment. I do have 6 cards.
Roger, we skipped the pledge. I don't know if you want to just go back and do the pledge of allegiance. 3.2.
Thank you. Yes. We're going to go ahead and ask Dr. Monique Ingram.
Just right hand over your heart. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with justice and justice.
Jason, is Nelson able to be on? Do we know if he's on?
Don't see him on.
Okay. If you could, behind the scenes, try to connect it, that'd be great. Thank you. All right. Now we're on public comment. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. I do have 6 cards. And just to let everyone know, public comment is limited to 20 minutes. Each speaker will have 3 minutes, and we have 6 cards, so we're well within the 20 minutes. There is a time clock on the right-hand side over here by Wendy for 3 minutes, so please be mindful of the time clock, and we look forward to receiving all of your comments. Based on the Brown Act and Robert's Rules of Order, we are not allowed or permitted to respond to the comments today, but your comments are welcome, and we will definitely consider them. With that, we were going to start with our first speaker, Levi Burge Wells, and I do apologize in advance if I pronounce a few of the names incorrectly. Please correct me as you come up. Thank you.
All right. Good evening, board members, superintendent, and community members. My name is Levi Barria Wells. I am the labor relations representative for Wiseburg Chapter 486 for the California School Employees Association, representing classified employees here in the Wiseburg School District. And we are here tonight to stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in the Wiseburg Faculty Association, because we ultimately share the same priority, ensuring students, and especially those in special education, receive the support they need to thrive. Tonight, the teachers will rightfully be asking for increased staffing in more instructional aides in special education, and we fully agree. However, increased staffing alone is not enough. To hire and retain the right people for these critical roles, we need accurate, specialized job descriptions that reflect the unique responsibility of special education aides. Currently, Wiseburg has only 1 instructional aide job description for all aides, whether they work in TK, general education, special education, or one-on-one intensive settings. This is not the norm. I represent 4 other school districts in the surrounding area, and other districts have separate classifications for special education, general education, and moderate to severe aides in various different structures. This distinction is important because clear specialized job descriptions, firstly, help us, number 1, recruit well-suited candidates that these positions demand. Number 2, provide clarity and avoid confusion and conflict on duties which are essential for student safety and success, and build a stable, committed workforce rather than relying on third-party contractors who cycle in and out without accountability to our students. For the past year, CSEA has been raising this concern to district administration, and we look forward to hopefully soon negotiating an updated special education instructional aid job description. This step will make it possible to meet teachers' call for more staffing with qualified long-term employees who are invested in our student success. We urge the board to prioritize this work now, because every day we wait is a day our students go without the consistent specialized support they deserve, so that together, CSEA and WFA can help make Wiseburn a model for collaboration and excellence. Thank you for your time.
Excuse me. Our next speaker is Kathleen España. I do apologize if I got the first name wrong. The topic is the need for more substitutes. Please come on up.
Good evening, Dr. Silvers, Dr. Dougal, and members of the board, as well as the guests in the room and our online guests. My name is Kathleen España, and I'm a second grade teacher at Holly Glen School. Teachers face countless small disruptions in our classroom each day: announcements, phone calls, behavior issues, unexpected meetings, fire drills, or technical glitches. Yet we adapt. We adjust to maintain continuity and keep learning moving forward for our students. However, when we are absent, the continuity often breaks down. Our classrooms need qualified, reliable substitute teachers who understand our systems, know our students, and can step in with confidence. Unfortunately, there are simply not enough substitutes available picking up our assignments, which directly impacts student learning. When an absence goes unfilled, there is often a scramble to find coverage. On those days, it's uncertain whether meaningful instruction will occur. Teachers frequently leave review packets rather than lessons, knowing there is little chance of active teaching taking place. These lost learning days are becoming increasingly common across our schools. At the middle school level, unfilled absences mean teachers give up their prep periods to cover for colleagues. While they do this to support students, it reduces the time available for lesson planning, grading, and communication with families. This work then shifts into evenings and weekends, cutting into personal and family time to ensure their own students' needs are still met. At the elementary level, we face similar challenges. One intervention teacher was pulled to substitute 11 times last month, 20 days for this year so far. 11% of the school year of lost services to our students. Finally, we strongly support a pay increase for our substitute teachers. This issue has been raised to the board before, yet our sub rates remain $20 to $50 per day lower than neighboring districts. As a result, we lose qualified substitutes to nearby schools such as Hawthorne, where they may earn up to $1,000 more per month. Substitute teachers play a vital role in maintaining continuity and supporting student learning. We respectfully ask that the board find a way to ensure reliable class coverage that does not automatically default to teachers covering classes, revisit substitute pay to make it competitive with surrounding districts, and explore creating 1 or 2 permanent part-time roving substitute positions to ensure reliable classroom coverage. Thank you for your time and attention and continued commitment to supporting our students, teachers, and classrooms.
Our next speaker, please, is Bonnie Olguin regarding classroom aids.
Hi, my name is Bonnie Olguin. I am from Holly Glen Elementary and I teach kindergarten. Good evening, members of the board, superintendent, district staff, and online guests. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. I'd like to share a concern that I believe many of us have witnessed firsthand. Our classrooms urgently need more staffing support, especially in areas of instructional and SPED aids. Over the past several years, classrooms have changed dramatically. Our student populations are more diverse and inclusive than ever before. We are supporting students with a wide range of academic, behavioral, and social emotional needs. Learning styles have also shifted since COVID, and teachers have adapted to new curricula, technologies, and instructional methods to keep students engaged and growing. At the same time, teacher responsibilities have expanded. Our days are filled with planning, instruction, meetings, interventions, data collection, and district initiatives. Teachers are working harder than ever to meet the needs of every student, but the level of support in our classrooms has not kept pace with these increasing demands. In the past, teachers could rely on strong support systems. Parent volunteers were a regular presence. Office staff and classroom aides helped with everyday tasks. Those supports allowed teachers to focus their energy where it matters most, teaching and connecting with students. Unfortunately, much of that support has faded. Changes in district policy have limited parent volunteers. Auxiliary staff who once helped with classroom tasks left have not been replaced. Instructional aides are few and often pulled away for other duties. Likewise, special education aides and RBTs, when assigned, are sometimes reassigned during the day without notice, forcing teachers to make last-minute adjustments to lessons or testing. Many aides also need more training and consistency in their schedules to make effective support for our students, but it's unclear where the time for that training will come from. These gaps affect everyone. Teachers are stretched thin, and the quality of instruction is inevitably impacted. We continue to give our best, but time and focus are divided among too many competing priorities. I want to shine a light on what's happening in our classrooms. We need more consistent instructional and SPED aid support. Our aides need access to training and predictable schedules, and they deserve fair compensation to ensure we can retain them long-term and build a strong Weisburn family. Ultimately, we all share the same priorities and goals to ensure our students, teachers, and support staff have what they need to succeed and thrive. Thank you for your time, attention, and continued commitment, to supporting our schools.
Our next speaker is Maria Rodriguez, and the topic is foundational grade level supplies.
I want you to first notice that I'm wearing a purple turkey hat and not a brown turkey hat. Good evening, board members, leaders, educators, community members, and online stakeholders. My name is Maria Rodriguez, and I'm a kindergarten teacher at Holly Glen School. As the Holly Glen kindergarten team, we want to share some concerns regarding supplies that directly impact instruction in our grade level. It is our understanding that as of week 4 of the school year, we had already run out of many colors of construction paper with no plans to order more until November. In addition, we were running low on paint, and our copy numbers were running out well before the end of each month. Because TK2 is a craft-heavy, project-based grade span, our instruction relies heavily on materials such as construction paper, paint, and copies, easily accounting for 50 to 75% of the way we deliver lessons. Without these essentials, we are limited in our ability to engage students in the hands-on, developmentally appropriate activities that are critical at this age level. For example, students are cutting shapes and gluing together projects. These activities support and extend overall fine motor strength. Our site has 7 TK, 6 kinder, 6 first, and 6 second grade classes. So approximately 563 students use these materials to learn and build foundational skills daily. We are curious as to what has changed in our district's ordering or budgeting systems in the last 2 years, as we have never encountered these shortages in the past. We want to ensure that whatever new processes are in place still allow for the consistent availability of fundamental supplies for foundational elementary grades. Team members were concerned that by week 4 of the school year, we had to ask parents to donate paper. This is not only unsustainable, but feels inequitable and places an unnecessary burden on families. While we were not required to, we chose to use our PTA grade level money in the 24-25 school year to purchase construction paper rather than other instructional items as we had planned. This shifted funds away from enrichment and innovation in order to cover basic needs. Moving forward, it is our hope that the district ordering and thank you very much. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Deb Davis. District funding is the topic. Please come on up.
You use my backup. I don't make 3 minutes.
I do have a slip for nice to observable after.
Glasses. Good evening, members of the board, superintendent, district leaders, education community. My name is Deborah Davis, and I am a TK teacher at Holly Glen Elementary. This is my 38th year of teaching and 33rd year in Weisburn School District. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight on behalf of teachers of this district. Over the past several years, the role of a teacher has transformed dramatically. And when I say several, I don't mean just a few, probably about 10. Through every unexpected challenge, teachers have been the ones supporting students academically, emotionally, and socially. We adapted overnight to online learning. We welcomed students back after months of isolation, worked tirelessly to rebuild community and restore confidence. We stepped in during staffing shortages, covered classrooms on our prep periods, and expanded our roles to include counselor, mentor, technology facilitator, mediator, and caregiver. And we did all of this because we were devoted to our students and to the district, a district that, though small, has earned an exceptional reputation in the education community. People across the region admire this district for its close-knit community, its high standards, and deep commitment to students. That reputation exists because teachers consistently go above and beyond. But while our responsibilities have multiplied, our compensation has not grown in a way that reflects the weight of that work or the value we bring to our students, our schools, and our community. During these same years, we have seen significant financial growth at the top levels of district leadership. The superintendent had received compensation, including raises, longevity increases, and signing bonuses. This year alone, the deputy superintendent received an 11.8 raise. Other administrative positions have also seen adjustments that reflect the district's desire to retain top level leaders. Once again, this speech is not about criticizing anyone or suggesting that leadership is unworthy of compensation. The work of running a school district is important, and we appreciate the guidance of our leaders provide. But the contrast in financial treatment is undeniable, and it sends a message none of us can ignore. Over the same period in which administrators had received substantial increases, teachers had received amounts that barely kept pace with inflation and rising housing costs. These increases have helped us survive, but they have not helped us get ahead. They have not recognized the expanded workload or the emotional labor of teaching through crisis after crisis. Our district's excellence cannot rest on the shoulder of a few administrators. It's built by teachers who greet students every morning, who create safe and creative learning spaces, who write lesson plans late into the night, who buy supplies out of their own pockets, who build relationships with families, and who care deeply about every child who walks through our doors. Our small district's outstanding reputation was not created by compensation packages. It was created by teachers, by people.
Ms. Dee Dee Zerbo.
Dee Dee Zerbo, kindergarten teacher at Holly Glen School. Continuing Deb Davis's statement, our small district's outstanding reputation was not created by compensation packages. It was created by people, by teachers, by paraeducators, by support staff, by those who are closest to students every single day. If we want to maintain the excellence that we are known for, we must invest equitably in the people who make that excellence possible. This is not a call for confrontation. This is a call for alignment between what we say we value and what we financially support. A call for fairness, a call for sustainability, a call for recognizing that while leadership matters, the heart of this district will always be in the classroom. Teachers have proven their commitment. Year after year, challenge after challenge, we have stayed, we have served, we have given our best. Now we ask the district to match that commitment with financial treatment that reflects the essential work we do and the essential role we play in protecting this district's reputation, stability, and future. Thank you for your time and for listening with the same care and integrity we strive to model for our students every day. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone who spoke. Thank you for your comments, and we'll certainly take those all under advisement. Again, we cannot comment on the specifics of it, so we will continue with our board meeting. You are certainly welcome to stay for the business that we have at hand as well. Okay. Our next topic is school site updates and our first is Ms. Summer Graves on Aviation Elementary.
Oh, it should be just.
The agenda.
It should be Delaire.
Yeah.
I have a different
Standing
agenda.
in.
Standing in.
Like, I'm out of here.
Should I just?
Please, Jesse, please.
We're Delaire.
They're on the agenda.
What am I?
Okay, hello, good evening. Thank you for having me here. Whenever you're ready, Wendy.
You're reading what you're doing.
So I just wanted to present you with some updates, where we are. When you're ready.
Let's move on.
Okay, please advance. Oh, who's doing, okay. Oh, okay. Do I just, yeah, okay. I'm not used to fancy things. Okay, so,
It's slow.
okay. So tonight I'll be discussing reading, math, science, student wellness and safety, which are all our priorities, but I'm kind of throwing a little bit in here because we're really working on school culture. So even though I know that that's not kind of like maybe the data stuff you want to look at, but I want to talk about that, please. Okay. Oh, I missed it. Okay. So, sorry. And as I know, you've already heard from Kiana Clark about what we're doing. So this is very similar. You know, we had our Getting Reading Right professional development in the summer, which I think we all got a lot out of. And I talked to various teachers of different levels. It was really helpful for me, but I think that everybody felt like that was a really good use of our time. And of course, you're familiar with the fact that we're using iReady diagnostic data. It's really cool to me. I won't go too into this, but I just want to say I'm very excited about everything I'm talking to you about because as a longtime teacher, I never had the opportunity to see things like disaggregated by each specific skill. So, it was kind of like, oh, I don't know. I am, looking at kids and I'm not sure, what do I need to focus on? So I think it's a really important tool that we can use. And I'm sure that you've seen the fact that it's asset-based, which I think is so helpful too, if you're working with students individually, to start out with, you already know all of these things. Let's work on the things that, you're needing a little help in. So we're excited about that. And of course, we are using this to track goals. And these are the goals that we were talking about, that I think we all decided on, that by the end of the year, it would be basically all the way across the board, 80%, starting in phonics, because that's where we see the need. And then of course, that's kind of enveloped in the comprehension piece. So we saw a consistent situation where we would like to raise the comprehension scores. So this is first grade. I won't say this each time because I know it's really redundant, but this is the same format for all of these slides, like what we're looking at. So this is just to show you why we're talking about phonics being something we want to work on in first grade. As you can see, the mid-tier, I'm sorry, first tier, second tier, third tier, where we are with that. And obviously, I know you've heard this before, and I'm probably, everybody knows here, but we're talking about the notion of just really trying to capture those students and just getting them, just push them a little bit over. Yeah. So that's where we are with the first grade. And then you'll see this trend. So we all are talking about second through fifth grade. We saw definitely a need with literature, particularly as they get older, the need for informational text, which I would say middle school teachers feel the same way. High school teachers definitely feel the same way, because it is so helpful for all the other subjects that they're teaching.
Jesse, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I had the same challenge with the last presentation as well.
Sure.
I'm not understanding how tier 1, 2, 3, 60, 120, and 18% correlate to the colors on the screen.
Okay, so, good question. So when we're in it, so if I were to sit with you and I showed you what iReady looks like, you can hover your cursor over each of those. So that's representative of, so I'm just talking about in this one, comprehension overall. So I'm breaking down the comprehension overall, and those are the scores. So if you look at the diagonal lines, that's mid or above in the green section. Okay, so you've got the mid or above would be the
Gotcha. The two greens are the 61, the yellow is the 20. And
right.
18.
The same in our presentation at the beginning of the year as well. We're calling those greens tier
Mhm.
1,
Right.
and then knowing that, they're.
Yeah, I'm remembering now. It's just.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a good question. And also that's kind of, when we're working, we're usually using those terms, like the nomenclature for all this is kind of like that. So it's consistent.
Thank you.
Sure. Did I skip? I did. I just went right through it. Sorry. Okay. Again, comprehension. That's what our focus is for third grade. I'm just going to keep going. And if you have questions, because it's all similarly laid out. And as you can see, though, I think it's interesting, like the phonological awareness is gone because that's not what they're dealing with at that point. Fourth grade. If you have questions, stop me. But you've seen this, I know, multiple times. In fifth grade. And I think that for me, when I was looking at this, the most important thing was that the informational text really needs some serious help in there. And again, now remember, this is the beginning of the year, right? So this is like, this is what your baseline is. So I think it's really amazing to be able to say, to distinguish between the two as a teacher. That is really cool, I think, because that also, of course, is going to be reflected in science and social studies too, because they need to be reading that informational text.
Jesse, on this
Yeah.
one, on this one here, we see tier 1, tier 2 is 68%. Seems to be a drop off from fourth grade. It's not in the 80% drop. Has there been some analysis of why we see a drop off from fourth to fifth?
No, not that I know of. I can ask that question. I don't know in like their TCT groups, maybe that's something that they've been looking at, but I haven't heard why. but it's an excellent point. I mean, I think for me, because I really like weird, nerdy data things, it's fun to to toggle back and forth between the grade before and the grade after, and to just like, why, what was the thing? And I don't think we've talked about specifically that. And I think I would speculate, I'm going to guess, but I think it's because the actual content is more challenging.
We could take a look at that and cut.
Yeah. Mhm.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then can you just clarify, so when you say you want to get to 80% proficient,
Mhm.
is that 80% within tier one itself?
Yes.
Just tier one,
So-
so like we're at
yeah.
33%, but you're
Yes.
trying to get to 80.
So the diagonal is like above, right? It's
Yeah,
that's
no,
the
I get
buffer.
it,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we just want to expand that out to 80%. But again, like the thing that when I look at this, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is huge numbers. We're only talking about like 14 people, right? So it's like, it's a little bit kind of confusing in that, but there's so much hope in that, right? Like if you could just get those 14 kids over that hurdle, you're in. And there's momentum in it too.
Like we said, the yellows, and that they were 2 days into fifth grade when they
Right.
started
Yes.
this assessment.
Yeah.
We're like,
This
"Well,
was right at
we
the
got
beginning. Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
right?" So-
And
It'd be interesting to see our other site
Yep.
for, not as a
Yeah,
comparison, but
totally.
just as a point of reference.
Yeah.
Good question and
Yeah.
observation. Are we seeing this
As
is
a
one,
trend, right.
and that's informative.
And again, I know that I had talked to Maggie about this, and I know you've seen a lot of how it appears. But for us looking at this, particularly if a teacher looks at, I am going to look at Jessie Lubes, and oh my gosh, it breaks it down so carefully that it's just such a great use of your time, right? So you're not doing the things they're already really good at, and a lot of them are really good at a lot of things. So math, that we've already, same thing, iReady, and then we're of course continuing to work with our outstanding math specialist, Holly Compton. She has helped us in so many ways. She comes in during our collaboration time and our coaching cycles to work with us. And she's doing all kinds of other things with us that I think are really helpful. She's leading all kinds of discussions. She's kind of like doing postmortems on stuff and like really helping us see what we might not see. Particularly, we're going through our PLC process to help us narrow it and to help everybody recognize what are actually the essential standards. Because I know the teachers want to do really well, they want to do everything really well. So to kind of pull it back and say, no, what are the essential ones that we have to guarantee? Okay, so similarly, it's that 80% number. I mean, it's ideal, right? It's a goal. And I'm sorry, there's a typo on here. I submitted this before. I talked to Holly about it, but numbers and operations, algebraic thinking in first, numbers and operations in base 10, operations on algebraic thinking, operations and algebraic thinking, and fifth grade is actually numbers and operations in base 10.
Fifth grade teacher.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. She's like, yeah. I look at her eyes, so similarly, this is what we're focusing on. And the reason why is because math, I think, obviously, I think everybody knows that math is a little bit different. There are these skills that kind of circle around more than language arts, which kind of like adds. So number and operations was something that we saw that we wanted to be focusing on. Same with second grade. And I know you already, Kiana already presented, right? So you've seen all this, so it looks really similar. Yeah. But again, like if anybody ever wants to come over to Del Air and like use your cursor, I mean, you will just go into the rabbit hole of data stuff. So it was fun. Back to number and operations. And then our fifth grade, right? So looking forward to going into 6th, 7th, and 8th grade with algebra and potentially geometry. So that's
Jesse, I know this, first of all, thank you all for this. We're picking a goal and we're shooting for it.
Mhm.
This is a goal out of educated, but a little bit of thin air. Thank you for striving for. Is the 80% in math more ambitious than the 80% in ELA? Or are we being realistic?
In my mind, I think we're being realistic, optimistic, but realistic. And the reason why I think, so as you guys know, I have a high school background. So, I'm used to, understanding it. So we would work together. I know I have a little like limited time, Wendy, so stop me because I could talk about this for a long time. So, high school teachers generally take their, they already know their essential standards and they backward map it from the get-go. That's how you plan. You plan with like your 9th grade group and your 10th grade group and your 11th grade group. So that's kind of just how I think most high school teachers think. It's really kind of essential standards to begin with. I think that there's a tendency with elementary teachers, they want to do everything and they want to do it really well. So it stresses people out because they're thinking, oh my gosh, I have to do all this. So I think that this is a big paradigm shift to say, yes, you still can do all of these things. And I know it's important to you, but we really want to have this guaranteed curriculum that we are going to now, because I know we're working on the report cards. So this is going to align with report cards. So it's a really elegant solution to this. And if we can all get on that same page with like, it's okay, we're really focusing on this. And I know that Dr. Silvers was in Arizona looking at, it was at one school or was it a group of schools?
You're taking away my thunder.
Sorry, I won't spoil it. I'm just gonna just touch on it. Okay. So I mean, it's like ultimately it's gonna be a really big paradigm shift. But to answer your question, the notion of 80, yeah, because again, this is only pushing a couple kids over the finish line. And if it's only, not only, it's still a lot. I'm not saying that like, oh, they only have to teach a few, but to lessen the emotional burden and the stress of like, I have to do everything. No, you should do the things you do typically, but these are the things that are the guaranteed pieces. And that's what we're looking at in the PLC process to make sure we're getting it right. Does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you. Go team.
Go team. Some of them are here. Go team. Okay. So, and of course we have for science, we've got our STEAM lab, which is amazing. And the kids, I think all really enjoy it. When I walk in there, they're super engaged. They're always doing cool stuff. Every time I go in there and I sit down, like I'll sit on the floor with them and they're doing stuff. I'm like, why are you doing this? They always know why they're doing it. They're always doing cool things that they want to tell me about. They're excited about it and it is really fun to watch. And of course, that it's that practical application of collaboration, which we all know going into college and graduate school and beyond, the workplace is increasingly collaborative. So I have seen this many, many times. They're really working together legitimately. It's not like, I don't know what it does, but when I was in school, there was like the one kid who would do all the work and the rest would be like, I don't know what's going on. They are all invested in this and it's fun. But I know you guys have all come out there. So I would like to have you come out as much as you like. So I just made this for fun. But this is to me what is the most exciting part for my brain. So when I look at all of this, to really have us focus on these essentials, we are working with professional learning communities to discover what they are. We've already identified them. We're working to take data, see how it goes, and talk about it, collaborate about it. And then we also have the iReady diagnostic assessments, which are going to be data that we use for that part to help us inform what we are going to be doing with our asset and standard. I mean, I just did both because they are asset-based report cards and they're standards-based report cards. And they're going to connect to what they are learning exactly. And it's going to be helpful for parents to understand where they are in this. Am I talking too much? Okay. Tell me, because you know me with a microphone. Okay. And of course, in the spring, I came to you when we were talking about the culture change, and I'm really working hard on changing the culture. And so this has been something that our teachers have embraced. We're adding different things as we see that they would be helpful. We use our Capturing Kids' Hearts, as you know about, and then we have our SWS lessons. We have assemblies. We're looking at changing those because we had a little mishap with our speakers, that we were doing it outside, but then another teacher suggested, why don't we do it on Zoom, the way Holly Glenn does? So that I think we're revisiting, and I think that that would be really helpful. We had our student council elections, and that was like a big hit because I walked out and they're like, I saw you. And I'm like, yeah, you see me every day. But apparently it was really interesting just to have people on that screen, and everybody can hear us. And if it's a rainy day, we have a place for them. So in any event, these are the things that we're working on. And the last part of this is celebrations. And I did have a student who was going to be coming here tonight, but we thought that it was maybe going to be too long. You know, he didn't probably want to stick around, but his name is Samuel Martin, and he's awesome. And he's our student council president. So he'll be here in the spring. He's so cute. I don't know if they're watching, Martin family. Okay, so, you know, the celebration piece. Okay, and again, to reiterate, school culture, this is what we're really, as a group, working on. Having more community involvement, having our student council have more responsibilities and leadership roles to be doing things with the other students. We have a Zero, the hero, who comes around today. I saw her and she was walking around with her cape and her thing, and like, so basically she's going to class to explain what's going on, right? But it's fun because she's an older student and the little kids are like, oh, you're so old, you're amazing. That's fun. I'm starting this, so we had the students who ran for student council, and of course, the majority of them did not get elected, right? So I'm taking those kids because they've clearly expressed a desire to be in leadership roles. And we're going to have an advisory committee with them. So then we can have coffee, or not coffee, hot chocolate. I'll have coffee. I promise I'm not, again, to the camera, I'm not feeding your kids coffee in the morning. But we will have, you know, refreshments and just have them be a part of really hearing what they have to say, how are things falling on you guys, what's going on. And of course, school site council. And safety, which I put this in the celebrations part because I want to thank Dr. Silvers particularly because he listened and he got right on it with helping us figure this out, because this has been the bane of my existence since the minute I got to the school. And, you know, we can't control people's behaviors necessarily, but looking like SoFi Stadium has killed it. Like, everyone's so excited. Now, in the beginning, it was some rough going, and Dr. Silvers had to talk to some people about that, but they came to see that this is really helpful. And I've had a lot of people come to tell me, thank you for doing this. And you live right there, right? I mean, it was wild in the beginning, but it's so placid now. And I get to be out there waving instead of going, don't do that, don't do it. It gets a little dicey in the afternoon, but luckily we have more people out there. We have many more adults. We've kind of like moved people around and tried to figure out how to do that. But again, I've heard so many, way more positives than negatives. And so we want to keep it going. So thank you for that. And I invite you to come to, Dr. Nushim Valizadeh is amazing. She's a speaker. We had to postpone her till January. She thought it was helpful, or more helpful. They do this whole goal setting, the 4th and 5th graders. That's going to be in January because she thought it would make more sense, like new year, new you kind of a thing. Then we have Stone Soup. If you want to pop by, the 1st graders do a fun thing where they've got a little feed, you know, Stone Soup, right? That is story. So it's fun. And then we have our music performances. And I just want to say publicly, thank you for our PTA. We have an amazing PTA and we're working very hard on bringing more people in. We had a PTA meeting last night. We do like a hybrid Zoom and in person. So many people are involved. It's growing and I'm really excited about that. Ed Foundation, of course, and I do want a little shout out to Ms. Downer because she has helped so much she does everything for student council. So, you know, we had sandwiches with all the people who were even running for it. And you know, it's just fun. It's a neat thing to have them be interested in just all the workings of the school. So that's it. Thank you.
Any questions from the board, Jess? Thank you very much. Always
Thank you.
great to hear the good news. Thank you. Next on our agenda, we'll go to board member comments, and I'm going to start on my left-hand side with Rebecca.
Thank you, Roger. Just a couple of items. I'm going to start with, I attended the recent LACSTA meeting on behalf of the district, on behalf of the board, the LA County School Trustees Association meeting. We got an update on some bills that the governor had signed, as well as legislation that the CSBA had advocated for, and there were a couple of them that I just wanted to mention. You guys will recall that last year we adopted a stipend for board members. And there was a bill that was passed, AB 1390, that requires an increase in the, or increases the maximum amount of available for stipends. So just wanted to ask that we make sure that whatever our policy is in line with that new legislation, AB 1390.
Wanted to bring that back and address.
Yes. Yes, just a review of the current policy and make sure that it's in line with AB 1390. There was also a bill, SB 374, that eliminated the IDEA Part B addendum for the LCAP and extended the deadline to submit some reports. So again, just want to make sure that that our policies are in line with those. I think there was one other one, just one second, I'm trying to scroll through here. Oh, yes. School board member training. The governor signed into law AB 640, which requires that all LEA board members receive training in public education school finance laws. And so want to make sure that we have the opportunity to receive whatever that training is that's now required.
Is it funded by the governor?
I don't know. I don't know I don't have the specifics of it. I just know that it's a new bill that we just need to do.
Rebecca, on that by when?
It doesn't, the information that I have doesn't provide a lot of details about it. And then the last one was AB 772, which requires LEAs to modify existing policies or adopt new policies on addressing cyberbullying that occurs during non-school hours and off campus. And it requires the CDE to adopt a model policy. So just again, want to make sure that those were bills that were all signed into law by the governor, that we've reviewed and make sure that our policies are in line with those new pieces of legislation whenever they're supposed to come online. And then just a couple notes. I thought that at our last meeting that we had agreed to continue bringing forward resolutions each month, but I didn't see the November resolutions on the agenda. For November? No, the Native American Heritage Month, Military Family Appreciation, and National School Psychologist Week. Those were the ones from last year. Should those have been? So anyways, we
did them, right?
did we do them in October? Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure it just felt weird because there wasn't anything on here. So, okay.
We did it in October for
For
November. Then December we do for January.
Got
We
it.
don't have any designated for December.
Okay.
National ones like that. It's
Okay.
they celebrate like general traditions
Uh-huh.
as their like community building lesson for the month about just general traditions where we to discuss kind of what their culture is like and what they do at home, community building in that way.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying. And then I just wanted to say we're getting ready for Thanksgiving and it is National Native American Heritage Month. And so just want to make sure that we're remembering that that a lot of our Native communities consider Thanksgiving actually a time of mourning for them. And just a reminder that there is genocide and violence that's experienced by our Native communities, both in the past and ongoing. And that it just is important for us to be incorporating the full picture of Native American heritage into our lessons and projects and activities, to just ensure that we get that completeness, I had the opportunity to go to aviation's 5th grade Native American displays a couple weeks ago, and it was really beautiful to see just the variety of ways in which the students had interpreted each of the different tribes that they had been given, and really fascinating. Lots of weapons in there, but the ones that were really interesting were the ones that were like the foods and tools and all of that. It was really, really sweet. So anyways, I'm glad that we're doing those kind of activities across our classroom to just raise awareness and remind us. And then lastly, just again, since this month is our Military Family Appreciation Month, just to recognize and thank all of the students and families within our district who are military families with the LA Air Force Base straight across the street. We know there's many of them in our community. And as someone who grew up in and around the military, I know and have seen firsthand the dedication of these families, spouses, children that they make for their service members, whether they're serving here or abroad. And I know that this year in particular has been trying for a lot of folks, both here and abroad. And so just want to take a minute to recognize those sacrifices that they all make for us.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Yep.
Next we'll go to Michelle.
Thank you. I was able to be the representative and attend the WEF, the Wiseburn Education Foundation meeting. They just had their parent party this past week, and I did not get to attend, but I heard it was a lot of fun. It was a really fun theme. And I just want to acknowledge how much work goes into what this group does. It's all volunteers, and it's a nice tight-knit group, always looking for more help, but the work that they do is so important. And I share their frustration sometimes when, they don't feel like their reach is enough because they just want to give so much. And so frustrations around, just visibility and trying to be everywhere all at once. And so I just wanted to make sure that I gave their platform here in the sense of, what they do for our district is so monumental and they're so quiet about it. And so I just wanted to make sure that was brought to light. They are in the middle of their annual campaign, one of the main ways that they fundraise money for the district. And so they're extending it another week. So if you have not given to that, a lot of discussion around, times are tough and we're asking for a lot, but this is again, one of the ways that benefits our district directly. So as far as the annual campaign, as well, there's also like other fundraising opportunities. December 13th, they're having a Kendra Scott fundraiser event where purchases go towards Ed Foundation. And then kind of the more traditional fun things that they do, like the Bear Bazaar. They're co-sponsoring the Bear, or doing that along with, and it's supposed to be more, not just Holly Glen, but kind of across the community with a silent auction on December 6th. Sponsoring a community coffee over at the middle school on Friday, tomorrow, from 8:30 to 9:30, and they're going to have Da Vinci speakers to speak more about the high schools, and stargazing January 30th. So lots of things. They work tirelessly to have these community events for to bring us together, to have awareness, and I just wanted to make sure that people were aware of them and all the hard work that they do. So thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Michelle. Next we'll go to Neil.
Thank you, Roger. I just want to do a shout out to the people who spoke tonight. The greatest thing we can have in a community is passionate people who care. And differences of opinion make us learn and make us better. So thank you for sharing those views. Thank you for educating us. Thank you for letting us hear. Can we do everything we want to do? No. But we certainly can hear and try to make progress. And that's, I can commit, and I think I'm speaking for everybody on the board, that we'll hear and we'll listen and we'll talk about it and see what we can do. So thank you for those comments. Separately, thank you to Maggie. I mentioned I happened to run into you today in the parking lot, but I had asked you to send me the articles on the grading, and I think Maria, if she's still here, made a presentation on that. And I was a skeptic because I had some concerns, and you forwarded me some of the research, and I explored that research in some depth, and from that you learn. And I'm on board, so thank you. Appreciate that. Or Blake, I should say. I'm on board. So there you go. I would like us to, we had Roger may mention this as well. Roger and I had a good meeting with the Da Vinci, two members of the Da Vinci board, and Dr. Wonder and Dr. Silvers this morning. And you may have heard the Vicky Barber presentation a number of weeks ago on kind of reconciling our finances. And I'm pleased to report we're making some really good progress on that. And good things are happening between Weismer and Da Vinci. A lot of great joint efforts. You mentioned them coming in. So it's a good moment. We're really moving forward. It's a really good time between our two organizations and working in partnership. It's really good. I also wanted to mention some of the awards but the district has gotten. Schools to Watch, Innovative Schools, U.S. News. I'm going to get this one wrong. The Economic Forum. You'll correct me, Blake. But I'm sorry.
I will.
Yeah, good. Please do. Please do.
You said you're stealing his thunder again. That is the second person.
All right, fair. It's all good. It's all good. The spirit's there. That's what counts. And that comes from the collective work that was mentioned by some of our speakers this evening. Thank you all for making that happen. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is I'd like to hear where we are on, speaking of the Da Vinci and Weismer partnership, on the profile of a learner and or profile of a graduate, which I kind of prefer that term, but how are we doing with our changing world, with the accelerating pace of change, with innovation, with all these things? How are we seeing what the light ahead looks like for our students, and are we getting them there? I love what we're doing with PLC and all the things we're doing, and we should have a clear picture of what we're trying to get to at the end of the game. So I ask us to get an update on that. Oh, yeah, that's it. Thank you. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you for mentioning our partnership and meetings with Da Vinci Schools. We did have a very productive meeting today. I think over the next couple of months, we'll be seeing some items come to the board. Staff is going to be in development of the Futures Plus program. We have an agreement in terms of the management of that program as we move forward. There's also governance issues and facilities issues and costs associated with those and governance. So making a lot of great progress on a lot of those ends. There'll be some action items on the Weisbern board agenda for review and approval, but also on the Da Vinci board. So really looking forward to continuing that dialogue with our partners over at Da Vinci. Regarding the comments I've made tonight, thank you again for all of those that they came to the board to speak with us. Thank you for sharing all of your thoughts. Unfortunately, we can't comment during that session, but please know that we heard the comments, and it is a challenge to balance all of the different needs within the district, and really appreciate you bringing those forward as you are our teachers out in the classroom, and we'll certainly look at those. So thank you again for coming forward tonight, and please know that you're always welcome to bring any of those items to us, to our attention. If you feel that we may not know about those, we certainly welcome those comments, and we look forward to working with you to resolve all of those items. Okay. And lastly, I wanted to say very happy Thanksgiving to everyone as we're getting ready to break for the holidays. There's a lot of great time that's to come with family and friends. So I definitely wish you a wonderful holiday break, and I look forward to when we get back, and also future board meetings and communications. With that, we're going to continue on with district leadership reports. In our first report, I'm going to turn it over to Sean, for our business official, for an update.
Yes, I will just add that we are currently completing work on our fiscal year 25-26 first interim budget report that we will be bringing to the board at our next meeting in December for approval. So the first interim budget report will incorporate any changes since budget adoption, which was back in June. So it will include updates from the actual state budget adoption, which was adopted after we adopted our budget, so it'll incorporate those changes.
Of course.
Yeah, that's just a typical process for that. Any changes kind of in regards to enrollment, staffing, it'll also incorporate our actual expenditures and revenues to date as of the end of October, so 10/31. So definitely a lot of changes to come that we'll see reflected in the first interim budget report. And so again, that will be presented in December. And we will just kind of highlight a lot of those important, notable changes and differences from the adopted budget to the first interim reporting period.
And all the changes are exceptionally good, right?
Everyone, a lot of positive changes from the state budget passage.
We were really looking for a yes. Thank you, Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
Great. Next, I'm gonna turn to Maggie for,
I'll go ahead and begin with our math update. So we had our last elementary math family night, and it was on game 5 of the World Series, and we still had over 100 families appear at 5 o'clock at night.
Some
And
dads
so-
had a headphone.
Headphones
They were like
in,
tapped in.
lots of phones out, and they were trying to interact with kids, but it was just such a magical evening. We had the most Da Vinci volunteers, being that we had more stations. We had over 20 stations in the Del Air cafeteria area. And it was just like such a great event to see our high school kids. First of all, there are some friendships formed at Da Vinci's above the schools because they volunteered for all 3 nights. They all know us now, getting these volunteer hours. So it's such a great opportunity for them, as well as so many of the staff members at Del Air came out and celebrated their students and their families, from earning a math passport and just learning how to interact with math in just very simple ways at home, and just having it be part of a conversation at home that it typically isn't. And so I want to thank you to Ms. Loops and her staff, as well as Holly Compton and the Da Vinci staff, Carla Levinson, appreciative for all the volunteer work that she did to really get these nights rolling. So that was awesome. And we have final approval from the state of California on the secondary math textbook list that was supposed to come out in March of 2020. Remember that list from the math framework? It
2020.
finally passed in November of 2025. So our middle school staff is very excited, and we are rushing the process of a hopeful adoption with your approval in May or June of 2026, and are going to be piloting 2 tools in the winter and spring of 2026 with Amplify Desmos and Eureka Square. And so those were the 2 that we narrowed it down with in our first meeting. And we are going to be doing 10 weeks of each of those curriculas, the entire math team at the middle school. So thank you to them and to Ms. Compton and Ms. Wolberg for the organization of that, because we're going to see great things happening with those new tools and our students and our staff member hands. And then our fall cohort of Getting Reading Right, our next board meeting is the last night or the day 5, and we will have our entire elementary staff trained. So our 8 members that have been going in the fall have just been so fantastic. It is not easy to be out of your classrooms, and they've come and said how much they've learned from being in this training. Really the state is moving away from whole language and bringing in the science of reading and making sure that our teachers have that knowledge base is just incredible to see the things happening with it. And then I would like to give a big bravo to the Wiseburn design team that has been working. We had our staff development day on November 10th, and listening to staff feedback and surveys was asking for time with this kind of new report card that we're dealing with. And each department and grade level broke down with design. We met as a collective, just to review the philosophy that we had built. And each grade level broke down with the structure of a report card and was led by the design team members, with administrators in the room, but definitely more in the background, and led just wonderful conversations. And then they came together in grade level bands and shared the progress that they had amongst their, TK to 2, and then 3 through 5, and then at the middle school. And then we ended the day with, our report cards are on the assessments that we built. And so we designed we asked each grade level to design a brand new assessment that they've never done before. Be creative, use AI, create something. And then we did what was called the slam, where all the staff came together and people from different grade levels came up and shared their new knowledge base. So we created a hub for all of these new types of assessments that we're going to be asking our staff to do when we move to our new report card. So please, thank you to all those members that put themselves out there, the extra hours studying the presentations that we had put together, and really leading their own staff members in conversations is so exciting to see. And then the last one is we have another AXA winner here in Wiseburn Unified. Noah Torres from the SLC was selected as the South Bay cohort Every Student Succeeds winner. So he is going to be represented at a dinner on December 2nd, and he's our South Bay region winner. So there's 14 kids in the front. He's our Wiseburn kiddo that won. So it's so exciting to see. So my hope is to invite him and you all to a meeting to congratulate him in person.
Very nice.
Roger, sorry, you're done, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
done.
Just for time's sake, I realize, ironically, that the technology is not very intuitive. Nelson's actually on. We just can't see him. So I'm wondering, maybe we go to Monique and then swing back after that to Nelson for a comment.
Sure, absolutely.
Just, I didn't want, since it's not real visible, I just wanted to bring that up.
Monique?
Just a brief update on Capturing Kids' Hearts. We recently had 4 days worth of visits from our Capturing Kids' Hearts coaches. One was our district-wide coach. So I meet with that coach regularly. We were able to tour the schools and assess progress, speak with principals about strategies, what was seen, also speak with some teachers and some students. Each site visit was a little bit different based on the site's needs and discussions with the principals, which was helpful, but we got some really great feedback. Obviously, strengths at each of the sites on what everyone's doing and the progress that's being made, the practices that are being implemented, also suggestions for strategies moving forward and supports. But some great feedback that a few of our schools, our district coach believes that they'll qualify as national showcase recognition schools, which is like Capturing Kids' Hearts kind of model schools. And so we're on the right track. That's a great thing. So that was one day, as I mentioned, and then there were 3 days of visits with our site level coach. So that coach meets with the principals monthly. And the site visits just kind of help bring all of that to life, right? So the coach can come, again, work with the principals based on these specific days that are scheduled or days that are scheduled based on needs, visiting classrooms, talking with teachers, talking with students, and again, just kind of working with the principals to reflect, see what's happening in real time and provide feedback that then the principals can take back to the counselors and the teams, the teachers to help with implementation.
Thank you, Monique. Kim, do you have an update today?
Yeah, just a quick
Great.
one. I just wanted to give, again, we're doing a lot of shout outs tonight to my special education team across the district. November is a hard month for our teams just because there's a lot to get done. There seems a lot that converges at that time, and it's a short month, so we have to get a lot in on a fewer days. And so that requires a lot of flexibility with the teams, Gen Ed teachers, fewer conferences. There's a lot that has to happen. And they really have just risen to the occasion and every day come prepared to meetings, ready to go with parents. And it really matters. And I just want to give them credit for the work that they're doing day in, day out. And just a follow up I shared that we had our WFA SPED committee meeting in October. And just as an outcome of that, that initially was created as a committee through an MOU with the district. And as a committee, we felt that it was a valuable space for us to have conversation and dialogue and discussions about the concerns that are happening in our district with special education. And so as a group, we recommended that this continue, not through an MOU, but more the standing committee. So that's something that will hopefully be fleshed out as we move forward. But we're very excited by the fact that we have people that are really committed. It's been a very productive space. And so I'm encouraged by that as we move forward.
Thank you, Kim. Next, we'll go to Dr. Dougal. Now to our district superintendent, Blake.
Are we gonna wait for Nelson for after me? Is that?
Yes. We'll just do that.
Okay, just, I had quite a few, updates today. First, I just want to, I want to thank Kim Jones, and the special education team, just, knowing just how dynamic and fluid this program has been over the years, the ability to kind of navigate and to be flexible. Appreciate it. So thank you for the work, that you do. I have to be careful asking her how she's doing on a given day. It's unfortunately more often not a great day, but she does it with a smile. It's not a great day with a smile. So I appreciate that. Just wanted to acknowledge it. Also had a chance over the last couple of weeks to do one-on-one visits at each of our sites. I did get to all 4 sites. Was able to talk to teachers at each of those sites and just appreciate those that took the time to come in and share issues, challenges, all of those things with me so that we can sort of operationalize support and move forward. I find some really nice meetings, really productive. So appreciate the time that folks spent to share their concerns. Just yesterday, we returned. I had a team of us went to Arizona State University as part of a partnership with the School of Education and the Next Education Workforce project or initiative happening out of Arizona State. Sort of a relook at how teaming works. I've shared that with the board before, and how teacher teams can really eliminate teacher burnout, can work on better recruitment strategies, retention, and certainly from that leading to better student outcomes over time. And so just was a great opportunity to talk to Dr. Carol Basile, who's the dean there, as well as other leaders and thought leaders in that area at Arizona State, researchers and so forth. So a really, really cool opportunity ahead for us. On December 18th, as I shared with this board, I'll be traveling to Detroit, Michigan for the ALICE training recertification for instructors. As you know, I've been the trained person in the district. This year, Ted Okasinski will come, so we'll have a couple. Just have to build that redundancy and have our active shooter, violent intruder type response all ironed out. It's kind of strange. I see you shaking your head, Dr. Goldman. It's strange that we have to do this, but unfortunately, we have to do this. So we are really looking forward to going out there, recertifying, and be able to bring back some of the latest and, support that we can for those types of issues. Primarily looking at a lens with how to train students. This has been something that I don't want to say I've avoided, but it's certainly a hard conversation starter, to bring this to students. So trying to figure out how we can differentiate that. Not scare TK students with it, or Kinder students with it, but
Or scare board members for that.
Yeah, or scare board members. Anyway, I think there's some work that we have to do there. Also, want to share, Dr. Goldman, it's the Educational Results Partnership. That's the name of it. And this year it was, for the first time, the district was acknowledged as well. So we've had schools in the past. This year it was the district, it was Aviation, Del Air, and Wiseburn Middle School. We're all acknowledged. Holly Glen, because of lack of test scores, was the reason why it hasn't been acknowledged. But nonetheless, those that qualified this year made it. So congratulations. It's just another nice recognition for us. Want to talk a little bit about facilities. Noemi's not here today, so it won't be 2 hours. It'll be just 5 minutes maybe. But so I'm gonna. She'll go back and listen to that. The joke will not end. But I want to highlight the baseball field at 135. I'm sorry, at Del Air, the high school baseball field. Really want to thank Cherie and Noemi, Miguel, Greg for their diligence on a field that really wasn't looking good. When we first saw it after it was, supposed to be completed, and I say that with quotations, it just wasn't looking really good. And now we're in a position where it's looking really nice, starting to come along. I mean, it's been raining pretty bad, so obviously that's just the par for the course. But really looks nice. They filled a lot of the indentations or the depressions with sand, rolled it out. We're looking at a pretty nice field. I think had a chance to walk it a week and a half ago with some of the baseball folks, and I think them seeing it as well and seeing the progress was very made them very optimistic. We did lose a few weeks on the sports complex, as I'm sure you could probably imagine, with all the rain. The sports complex that was initially targeted to be done January 31st is now targeting a mid-February. We lost about 14 days. So mid-February, I know Noemi has shared that she's going to try and really push to get some of that, make up some of that time. But obviously with the inclement weather, chances are probably highly likely we're going to continue moving the wrong direction. But then look forward to getting together with the teams, youth groups, our youth sports, partners, our schools, so that we can figure out use of that field. It's a big field. There's a lot of desire for the field, and we haven't really been able to dive into that yet. So I know Sean's working with some of the league and so forth on that. And with that, just want to, wish everybody happy Thanksgiving, happy week off, all the good stuff that you get to enjoy with family and friends. Those things. Thank you. That's all I have today.
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you, Blake. Jason, can you please bring up Nelson for his comments, please?
I'm here. Good evening, everyone. Sorry I couldn't be here in person today. I'm a little bit under the weather. But if there's one time I appreciate going last, it's tonight, because all my comments have been covered by my colleagues. So thank you. Blake stole my thunder. So I just wanted to take a moment to wish everyone a wonderful, healthy, and safe Thanksgiving holiday. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Nelson. And Rebecca, did you have a
I
comment?
just have a question.
Sure.
Like for the sports complex, I think we've talked about this, but I just want to say publicly, I want to make sure that when we do whatever ribbon cutting or grand opening thing or whatever, that we're inviting our other local elected officials to be part of that. So just to keep us posted on when that date gets set.
Yeah, that's a good question, Rebecca. We actually, there's emails floating right now because now that we have an end in sight, it's not quite the end we wanted, you know, it's moving, but Nick McLaughlin at the WEF has reached out as well because they want to help co-sponsor it. So once we get that date set, then certainly have a list of all the electeds that we'll invite, some local and some state level, but I think even federal.
Also, just one thing, this is, don't mean to be so out of the blue here, but the charging stations at our various sites, I've got some questions on those. Do we have a timeline on those?
Yeah, probably we're looking at best case scenario, probably February, March. There's just a lot of paperwork that entails, like, we have to submit a large worksheet back, so we go back and forth with the company. So we're about a third of the way through it. And then we'll get that, and once that happens, we're up. So I mean, we're close-ish. You know, obviously, we had recommended to the board and that we offer free charging between certain hours, so we have to set that up. So that's in the process now, setting those parameters and going from there. So I think for staff. Yeah, no, it'll be a code that a staff member would have and then be able to use. So basically, maybe Sean, can we put that on, maybe get an update in December? We can get a more realistic end date. Yeah, exactly. All right. We'll get you a realistic update on in December.
Great.
What the actual.
I appreciate it. I'd like to give some answers.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Wendy, we are on item 7 of our agenda for public comment on items on the agenda. Do we have any public comments? Okay, thank you. Moving on to section 8, which is the consent agenda. Is there a motion for item 8.1 to approve items 8.2 through 8.13 that are on the agenda?
So moved.
You have a second?
Any comments or questions or discussion on any of these items? Okay, hearing none, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries 5-0. Section 9 is action items. The first item is item 9.1 is to approve memorandum of understanding between Wiseburn USD and CSEA, and it's chapter 486. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any comments or questions?
Just, what was the genesis here?
The genesis for the MOU came really from the library clerks. The additional hours they got every June and every August. And so when we met, we decided it would be a better option to actually formalize it into their work year. And so they can better plan for their own breaks. And we can also better plan what work would be done those first 2 weeks of school and the last 2 weeks after school.
Great, thank you. There's a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Don't see Nelson on, but I believe it's,
He's up there.
I said aye.
okay. It's, the volume is low, so thank you. Motion carries 5-0. Item 9.2 is to approve the single plan for student achievement for Dale Elementary, Aviation Elementary, Holly Glen Elementary Schools, and for Wiseburn Middle School for the 2025-26 school year. Is there a motion?
You have a motion and a comment?
Second? Thank you. Neil?
Thank you. Yes, Steve, thank you to your fellow principals for all the work that goes into this. I know this is a daunting task. Two things I was thrilled to see on here. One is that we've incorporated and built it around our assurances, which is fun to see that we're living to what we said is the foundational elements of our entire district. And the second was, as part of your presentation this evening, we saw goals throughout. What I don't know, and I think it's more of a question, is how will we see the progress on the, turn that to Maggie or whomever.
So part of that you'll see with the LCAP mid-year report. So, well, it's going to be our presentation on the California dashboard. We're going to tie it all into one big presentation. And then our middle of the year diagnostic overview and the LCAP overview. So there'll be an update then, which is going to be scheduled for like the end of January, beginning of March. And then each of our schools is going to present again in the spring. So they'll be giving an update from their middle of the year, a diagnostic of where they're at towards achieving their particular goals.
Okay, great. I just want to reemphasize, this is a cultural shift, a different way of doing business here. And I know we've taken a stab at these goals.
Yeah.
And I'm ecstatic that we're moving towards measurable outcomes
Yeah.
and super exciting. So thank you. Thanks to all the teachers. Exciting to see. Appreciate it.
And Wendy, I think, sorry, Roger, just because we have one trustee I think we should roll call vote. It just probably would be easier for record. I think that's actually, it may be a requirement, so let's just do it for the rest.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Wendy, would you please take roll call?
Dr. Goldman,
Aye.
Ms. Cappy. Aye. Ms. Legaspi. Aye. Mr. Ben Willows.
Aye.
Mr. Martinez.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries 5-0. Moving to section 10, action items for facilities. Item 10.1 is to approve amendment number 8 for Dale Elementary School at the for a transitional kindergarten playground project for architectural design services with Corgan to be paid out of Measure EE funds. Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion for 10.1 through 3.
Motion on 10.1 to 10.3.
I'll second that.
Any comments or questions?
Just, it's fun to see. What's the name you have for the current structure at Dale Air?
I'm not saying. that.
Okay.
I'm not saying that publicly.
Will be better.
He baited me on that.
We're growing.
We're making it better.
There you go. There you go.
Well, on that note, I'm going to call the question really quick so we can move on to that. Wendy, would you please take roll on that? On items 10.1 through 10.3, please.
Ms. Legaspi.
Aye.
Dr. Goldman.
Aye.
Mr. Ben Willows.
Aye.
Ms. Cappy.
Aye.
Mr. Martinez.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries 5-0. Moving to section 11 for fiscal to approve additional funds with RCM Healthcare Services. Is there a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Hearing none. Wendy?
Ms. Legaspi. Aye. Dr. Goldman.
Aye.
Mr. Ben Willows.
Aye.
Ms. Cappy.
Aye.
Mr. Martinez.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries 5-0. Blake, any upcoming dates and events before we adjourn?
Sure. A couple, obviously, Thanksgiving break is coming up. That is a week, a holiday week. So the offices are closed across the district. I just hope everybody enjoys that time. We'll have more, our next meeting is on December 11th. And at that meeting, we'll have more dates because we'll have all the winter concerts. We'll send those to you prior. We'll make sure you get them sooner than that, but we'll have those on the agenda for the next one. It'll culminate, well, it may not culminate, but there will be the larger assemblies, performances. Will be at the middle school. It's over 2 nights to manage crowds and so forth. So really excited about that. We'll get those to you. That's it.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you everyone again for everything you do day in and day out that makes Weisburn just a little bit better every day. Thank you. And I hope you have a fantastic, happy Thanksgiving. And we are going to adjourn to a second closed. Thank you very much.